Apologies for my tardiness. My flights got delayed. You know how it is with airports in this country. It's one thing to get off the plane, another thing to get your luggage, and another thing to get the proper shuttle to get you down. Apologies.
Okay.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. I don't think I can properly put it in words just how awesome you look.
Thank you. I like your hair.
Thank you. I don't.
Why?
I just feel the style with the gel. I could have done another one, but it's not about me, it's about you. So, I can imagine you have a lot of questions to ask. You don't seem like such a chatty person.
I'm not, unless I like you.
Have we established that?
Well, you already said I wasn't a chatty person.
I'm saying, have we established whether or not you like me?
Can we establish that? We'll find out.
Okay. So, do you want to go first or should I? I don't know.
So what's something you secretly judge people for?
Something I secretly judge people for. I judge people for a lot, actually. I can't even lie.
Okay, so what are some things, like 3 things that you secretly judge people for?
Like poor parents, for instance.
Poor parents?
Poor parents. Like, I don't mean like financially poor. I mean like just unkempt. I'm wondering, I understand that not everyone can dress like $1 million, but can you at least not look like your situation? You know what I mean? And body odor too. Soup doesn't cost that much, I guarantee you for a fact. So, you know, just things that I feel like and otherwise. So just
Sorry,
things
my
that.
boyfriend was calling.
Are you being serious?
No, I'm joking.
What about you?
I think hygiene.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah. It's usually always boiling down to hygiene. Like, I look at you and I just feel like I can already see whether you had your bath today or not, or whether you stink. It's like I can see your odor. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
I guess we have that in common.
And I don't really like shaking hands. I usually fist bump people.
Because of the hygiene as well. How about hugs? Do you like hugs?
No, not really. I give people side hugs most of the time.
So I presume you're not quite enthusiastic about physical touch, are you?
I am, but that's why I'm not.
Because it has to mean something.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What would your reaction be if your man suddenly wanted an open relationship?
To end it.
Would you ever agree to such a thing?
Of course not.
Why not?
Would you ask for such a thing?
No. I'm just trying to see where your head's at.
Whose head is actually at opening relationships? Do things like that actually happen in Nigeria? Or is it just some stuff you see on Netflix? Oh, we've opened our relationship. It's an open relationship.
I mean, did you listen to Sophia Egweje's voice note?
No.
When the whole Burna Boy saga happened?
No.
I think she mentioned something about how they could frolic on the side and her boyfriend didn't have to know. So in my head, I feel like modern day people think it's a normal thing to have extra or backup boyfriends or girlfriends.
Wait, so how is that an open relationship and not just cheating?
Perhaps they agreed to it. Perhaps it was consensual that okay, we can do things on the side.
I just don't need to know about it.
I just don't need to know about it. Is that something you could ever indulge?
No. Do you expect loyalty from women that you haven't yet committed to?
It's a smart question.
And it's a simple question.
A simple one is that as well, but it depends on how far we've spoken.
Mm-hmm.
If we know that we, for a fact, like each other, I mean, why do I gotta see you everywhere? Unless you're saying I'm not the only one you like, and in that case, I don't think I want to proceed with any kind of relationship.
But if I liked you and I liked somebody else, why would I tell you that I liked somebody else?
If I saw it,
Yeah.
thank you. Because I'm very willing to return the favor, actually.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am. Do you have evidence to the contrary?
No, but I'm not seeing it making so much sense.
How?
You've not committed because of feelings. Feelings are feelings, and we don't always act on our feelings. I just feel like common courtesy, because I feel like what we're talking about now is our talking stages, basically.
Okay.
Common courtesy. You know, initially I said, if I liked you and I liked somebody else, why would I tell you that I liked somebody else? That's not courtesy.
So you're saying you could
I
be
wouldn't be in
disloyal?
your face. That's the thing. There's no loyalty to begin with, so I'm not being disloyal.
How do you like two people?
Because there are feelings, I can share it.
So you can share your feelings.
I didn't mean to, it just happened. I didn't mean to even catch the feelings.
You're saying you're not in control of how you feel. So what if
Nobody
you were
really is.
dating
You're
now?
only in control of what you do.
So if we were dating now, I should expect you to just catch feelings for another man.
Oh no, but that's different.
How is it different?
Because I believe that feelings, as much as feelings are feelings, your feelings can also be a choice. The moment I'm here and we've made a decision, we've agreed upon something, it's like I've decided that it's going to be you. So therefore I have eyes phoning you, and I don't mean it in a romantic way, I just mean I literally now have to have eyes for only you.
Okay, so
I wouldn't even let myself get close enough to someone else to even catch the feelings in the first place.
but you don't expect loyalty for someone that you just like.
Yeah, I don't. Because you just like me.
Would you be a full housewife if your man asked you to?
Depends on how much money he has.
Excuse me?
Depends on how much money he has.
Okay. So,
Are you going to put me on the salary? Can I have your card?
okay. So it's not something you can.
I can do.
It's not something that's difficult for you. Don't you have career goals? Don't you have
I
ambitions?
mean, yeah. It's not even ambitions, more like dreams.
Okay. So it's your dream to be a housewife?
No. More like dreams, creative kind of dreams. But because my dreams have to do with creativity, I don't necessarily have to make money from them.
How would you feed?
How would I feed? Off the salary my husband gives me. Like I said, I'm a housewife. Do you think men and women can truly just be friends? Can I have a follow-up question?
That is a spicy one. Yes, I think so. I think men and women can be friends.
If you think so, do you mind your girlfriend having a male best friend?
What do you mean? I'm her male best friend. Or rather, I should be her male best friend. I mind actually. I mind. Because as besties go, more often than not when a guy agrees to be a bestie, it's because he's hoping to be a replacement for the boyfriend. You asked if they can be friends.
Yeah.
Yes, if there are healthy boundaries drawn.
What is a friend?
I mean, all the people she probably had in her life before she met me, one day still be considered her friends.
Yeah, but what is a friend?
Standard definition. I don't know the dictionary definition, but I know a friend is someone that supports you and you support and all the good things that come with friendship.
And the best out of all of them was a guy.
Was a
Before,
guy.
yeah, before she met you.
Well, if you are a reasonable person, you
Yeah.
would give my wife space because someone else is filling the shoes that he's required to fill.
Yeah.
So I would appreciate if he would excuse us.
He would excuse it, but you do realize out of all her friends, she's still her number
I mean, there's
one.
nothing I can do about it, right? Because
Yeah.
he existed before me, and
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Because I probably had female friends too before the relationship. Right?
Yeah.
It ought not to be a problem as long as everyone is being mature about it. But you're her bestie. You are coming to my house every night. You're sleeping all those silly things. No, I don't want that.
But they're just friends, and something they were doing just
We
as
both
friends.
know
That what? Boys and girls can't just be friends.
they can be friends, but we
But they
both
can't
know
be best friends.
They can be, but we just know that if you put yourself in compromising situations, compromising things could occur. Would you drop your career and everything you've worked for, or even relocate across the world if your man asked you to? You gotta think about that one, because you love this person, you really love this person.
Where are we traveling to? Where are we traveling to now?
Where would you like to travel to?
New York.
Zimbabwe.
You mean to?
Yes.
Why now?
Because I don't want you to go there because you want to go there. I want to see if you're willing to actually sacrifice everything. If it's where you want to go, where is the sacrifice? It's Zimbabwe.
What are you looking for in Zimbabwe?
I work with an offshore drilling company, and they found what's
Can't I
that
be
thing in
offshore
Wakanda?
I can't be offshore.
They found vibranium in Zimbabwe, and they want me to mine vibranium. Would you move with me? Because I'm going to be there for a while, and vibranium is quite valuable, so I will be earning a lot of money. But would you drop everything and move with me?
I think I'm always answering from a place of being hard because I'm not in love right now. So I'm trying to really just get myself into that
I like to believe
headspace.
you're getting there.
I'm trying to put my head in the headspace
Okay, so
of what I would do. I'm trying to actually remember the last time I was in love and only focus on the good parts and see if I would have moved with him then.
Well, what do you think?
Well, he's earning a lot of money. I'd move with him. But we travel a lot.
What's that?
We might have to travel a lot.
Why?
What if I can't just handle Zimbabwe?
Would you leave me?
Are you using you? I don't know you.
Hypothetically speaking,
If I loved you.
yes. I understand already. You're saying if it's convenient, you wouldn't mind.
I feel like I would do it and I would try to make it work.
Okay.
What if I see that it's not working out? I don't want to sound like I can't endure hardship, but I can. It just has to be worthwhile. I think that's just it. Just make sure it's worthwhile.
Okay. If you found out that your man has impregnated another woman or has another child outside of your marriage that he didn't tell you about, are you staying or are you walking out?
It depends. When did you impregnate this lady?
Before I met you,
Before you met me.
I just didn't tell you after we've already taken our vows.
So you knew she was pregnant
Yes.
and you didn't tell me? I mean, it was going to be different if you didn't know she was pregnant and now...
I knew I was going to have a baby. We met 9 months ago. It was a one night stand. I knew she was pregnant. I don't claim the child. I choose you. Are you staying with me? I don't tell you.
You chose me over your spawn,
I choose you over the lady I had my spawn with.
but you kind of also now choose me over the kid.
No, I mean, the kid is still mine. I'm going to take care of the kid. I just don't want the mother. I want you.
But you didn't want to tell me the truth.
Because I felt like I would lose you. I would
But what
rather
if
lie
now-
than lose you.
But
Have you
you're
heard
not
that
the
song?
weekend, yeah.
I'd rather lie than lose you. Would you stay with me? I didn't have to lie. I just didn't want to lose you.
Then why didn't you tell me the truth?
Because I thought you wouldn't marry me if I told you the truth.
Look, okay, now, since we're not yet married, right? If such a thing happened or happens, you should be able to tell me. Unless I don't see why you're marrying me.
You know, saying I should be able to tell you is a function of how you behave. If I consider you reasonable enough to handle
Why are you
the
marrying
truth,
someone unreasonable?
love is unreasonable.
No, it's not. People are.
People in love are.
Says you.
What's love to you then? Listen, if you're not really a mumu, can you say you're in love?
Yes.
So you don't think love involves some kind of foolishness?
Sometimes, but this is extreme. You know what, let me just imagine that we've already gotten married and this has happened. I want to believe that you've done so many good things that I'm looking back at it and I'm like, am I going to leave him because of this? And it's also a thing of, what were you planning to do about the child? Because for you to tell me this now, it means you always planned on taking care of the kid.
You cannot bring in, or you shouldn't bring a kid into this world if you're not going to take care of the kid. Mistake or not, we have enough fatherless, destitute children out there. I will not be a contributory factor to that. I will take care of my child, but the mother I will not house. I will take care of her as much as I can, but I don't want to marry her.
Wait, sorry, did you cheat on me? Because like, if you knocked this girl up 9 months ago,
I hadn't met you 9 months ago.
yeah, okay, then you met me, then got married. In how many months?
Does it really matter?
Yeah, because I wouldn't marry you under those circumstances, just 9 months.
How long does it take to wait for someone before you marry them?
At least 2 years.
At least 2 years.
Yeah.
Coming from a lady.
Yeah, and
I
what's
thought
that
ladies-
meant to
I
me?
thought ladies are the ones who didn't have time, biological clock and whatnot. So you want to wait for 2 years. You're the first I've ever met that wants to wait that long.
See, I'm the kind of girl who wants to get married and not have kids immediately.
Okay.
Because the thing is, people are like, oh, be financially stable and this, that, before you even get married. But the thing is, some people do get married. I feel like you can get married and not even have all your cards together and everything.
Fair
You
enough.
guys can still build as long. The only problem is actually the kid.
Yeah.
So you guys can be together and wait a couple of years before you have it. I mean, look at Justin and Hailey. I mean, I wasn't really rooting for their relationship, but it makes sense to wait a while. I'm not even saying I would wait that long, but I would wait like 2 years before I have a kid. At least let me have my hubby to myself.
Granted.
Yeah.
I'd love to have my wifey to myself as well. But
In Zimbabwe.
not in, that was a hypothetical question. Although Zimbabwe could be nice.
With money.
With money. Trust me, I wouldn't indulge you or anyone without money.
Good.
Odogu, please, is the line you're supposed to say. That's your line.
Do you mind being with a woman who makes more than you?
I mean, typically I'd never ask a lady how much she earned, even if she were mine. Okay, so, but if that conversation does occur, I don't mind it actually, no. Because it's none of my business how much she earns. I really don't care.
Unless the situation arises, right?
Where we have to speak about it, or where something happens and I find out, but I wouldn't ask because it's none of my business how much
But
she
don't
earns.
you date people in hopes of getting married to them?
Yes, I do.
You know you will discuss finances in marriage, right?
Yes. So that means we've gotten to that point where it has come up.
You're going to eventually have to get to
Yeah,
that
that's
point.
fine.
Everybody
If she
does.
earns more than me, that's fine. Really none of my business, to be honest.
Okay. I have a follow-up question, if you don't mind. What does being a man in a relationship mean to you?
Being a man in a relationship.
Actually, I have a couple of follow-up questions.
Okay.
What does being a man in a relationship mean to you?
It means being a brother, a father, a leader, and a son.
In
I
a
feel
romantic
In a
relationship.
romantic relationship, I feel like it means filling the gaps that a man ought to fill in a woman's life. Being a considerate partner, being a lover, being a guardian, being a protector and a provider. It's all encompassing, really. Traditional roles, if I must say. The reason I said it doesn't matter or why I could date someone who earns more than me is that I'm not in the business of taking money from women, or nor do I intend to take money from my partner. So whether or not she earned more or earned less,
Your money is our money.
It really isn't my problem.
So your money is our money, and my money is my money.
Exactly.
Dude. So what's your idea of what you bring to the table? Like if you were going to look at me and be like, oh, what do you bring to the table? What
would I rather you bring to the table? I'd rather you bring a healthy support system. I'd rather you bring, as a non-negotiable, kindness. I would really value a tender person, a gentle person. Not because I hope to take her for granted or to take advantage of her, but because I feel like I'm a bit of a whirlwind myself. I'm a bit of a raging storm. So I'd love a quiet storm. I'm a raging inferno. I'd love a quiet storm to just balance everything out, really. So I feel like I'd love a healthy support system, a considerate person, one who, could take matters into their own hands, take initiative, who could exist independently but still be dependent. Does that make any sense at all?
Not really.
Okay.
And another thing is, I kind of freak out when guys are like, oh, I'm a raging this, and then they need a gentle girl, because most times they tend to just corrupt to that.
Gentleness.
Yeah.
Well, I
They
don't
never actually get what they want.
really.
Yeah, they just end up messing everything up.
Well, what I was going for in this analogy was extrovert, introvert. I'm an extrovert. I'm saying I prefer an introvert.
Are you serious?
Yes, because if we're both talking all the time, who's going to be doing the listening? Not that I intend to do the talking all the time, but I just prefer that we had different dispositions towards certain things. I wouldn't like if we were just the same in every regard. It'd be quite chaotic, don't you think?
You guys could be extroverts. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's your
We
preference.
actually could both be extroverts, but I do have a preference for introverts.
Okay.
It's just who I am. You consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert? Or an ambivert?
What's that?
Mixture of both of them.
I think I'm a mixture of both. I think I'm chatty today, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And I must say you're quite brilliant.
Thank you.
Just
I mustn't say.
You don't have to, actually. Would you rather be with a rich man who has no time for you, or a broke man who worships the ground you walk on?
Do I have to pick?
Yes, you do.
You worship me with what exactly? Because when you worship God, you go to God's house with offerings and stuff like that.
He
So
just adores you and has time for you. He just doesn't have money.
You adore adoration.
Your answer is the rich man who has no time for you.
No, I don't want to have to pick.
But you have to.
Why?
Because I need to know where you stand.
But I would end up cheating on both.
Would you ever propose to a man?
No.
Why not?
Would you want me to propose to you?
It could be sweet
How?
if you're attractive enough. It might not matter. I might actually indulge. And in your case, I might just think about it too.
No.
I was trying to say you're beautiful.
Thank you.
See, I had a lovely time with you. I think you're smart. I think you're beautiful. I think you're harsh.
I think so too.
But I really enjoyed my time. Pasta was nice.
Pasta was nice.